no matter what you're going through, you have the power to keep pushing, right? You have the power to keep pushing, and we got to keep pushing. Like, we can't let nothing stop us. We can't let whatever problem that's in our way, we can't let that stop us from keep pushing, right? It's your boy Crazy Faith to God in the building. Hope everybody's enjoying and having a blessed and amazing Friday. Happy blessed Friday. Let's get it. Let's get it. So today's topic is going to be the power of you pushing, right? Keep pushing, right? You know, it's going to be hard. Like, life is going to happen to us. It's like, it's no perfect life that we going to live, but we got the power to keep pushing no matter what happens. And I feel like God is just honestly testing us on that situation as well. Like, are you going to give up when things get hard? Are you going to stop and take a break? Or, you know, like, are you just going to give up when things get hard? Or are you going to keep pushing despite what happened, right? Because we could honestly let life determine our actions and what we do moving forward, or we can continue to push forward and get the goal, get the prize. So you see, you never know how far away you are from the blessing, right? We never know how far are we away from the blessing. We never know how far we are, right? So if we don't know how far we are from the blessing, that means we got to keep pushing, right? We got to keep pushing because we never know how far we are. And of course, life is going to happen. We're going to get pulled down. We're going to get tempted, right? But at the end of the day, we still got to keep pushing. And God is watching to see if we still push, right? And I encourage you guys to push, right? Because the devil, the enemy, is not going to be like, oh, I feel bad for them. I'm going to just stop. He's going to keep testing you, right? He's going to keep tempting you, right? And God is going to keep testing you, right? To see if you got that resiliency to keep pushing to the next level, right? And we all have to go through this situations, uncomfortable situations, right? Getting constantly pulled down, right? Got to get back up, right? We will encounter that. And I just want to give you guys the strength today, right? The wisdom, the encouragement, the power, right? Just to keep pushing, even though the enemy's trying to pull you down, even though the enemy's trying to tempt you, right? But God is honestly watching to see what you do, you know? And I feel like, honestly, God is just like, yo, let me see if they're going to keep pushing. You know, let me see if they're going to give up. Let me see what's in their hearts, right? That's what he's looking at, you know? And it kind of feels draining sometimes. I'm not going to lie. It kind of feels draining and annoying, and you get so frustrated. But I'm going to keep pressing, right? I don't care what's going on in the outside world. I care about what's going on in the internal world and what's really in my heart, because God is grading us and watching us on that, right? God doesn't really care about what happens, because problems are going to happen, right? But he really cares about your heart, right? Who you really are, right? That's who he cares about. He cares about your heart, right? He cares what's in your heart, who you really are, right? Checking to see who you really are. And the good thing about that is, once he checks your heart, you actually show him who you are, and you actually show yourself who you are. You know, so that kind of works hand in hand right there, right? And if you made some mistakes and God revealed what's really in your heart, don't get mad at that, right? Don't get mad at what's or was in your heart, because all that is subject to change, right? God can change what's in your heart, right? You don't have to live with that guilt. You don't have to live with that frustration, because all that is subject to change, right? All that is subject to change, right? You see, I used to be a lustful person, right? But God is changing my heart, right? I used to, kind of like be like a hateful person at one point in my life, right? due to, circumstances, but God changed my heart, right? Now I get to love people that hate me, right? You see how the transformation works with that, right? I get to love the people that hate me, right? Because they're not going to pull me down to their level of excellence, and they're not going to water me down, right? They're not going to water me down, so I hit them with some love, right? From a distance, right? So all that is subject to change, right? All that is subject to change over time, but you got to give God what's in your heart. Whatever you're struggling with that you don't like, give it to God so he could change your heart, right? So he can fix you, right? You don't got to live in that guilt. You don't got to live in that sin, right? You don't got to live with the uncomfortability that God can't fix you, because he can. You see, we're not perfect. We go through trials and tribulations for a reason, right? So God can reveal who we truly are. But the moment we give it to God and we're able to turn to him and repent, then he's able to do bigger and better things and clean ourselves, right? But it's going to take some work. It's going to take some time for him to do that. It just doesn't happen overnight, right? It just doesn't happen overnight, right? Certain things we have to pray about. Certain things we have to work on, right? We have to pay attention what's going on within us, right? Because the enemy, right, the devil will give you a desire of the flesh, and God will give you a desire that's leading to the spirit, right? Right? And that's how you know if things are from God or from Satan, right? So Satan will give you something that's appealing to the flesh, right? But God will give you purpose. God will give you wisdom, right? God will give you something more meaningful to live for, right? And it won't feel so draining and so, mediocre, right? But it takes that wisdom to understand what's really going on, right? It takes that wisdom, it takes that discernment to understand what's going on in your mind, right? Because whatever you let in your mind could get in your heart, could get in your spirit. So it's all about being aware, right? It's all about being aware and having the ability to transform and to change into the person that God needs you to be, right? Without that transformation, without that change, we stay average. Without the fight, we stay average. So I thank God for the fight. I thank God for the ups and downs, right? Because it wouldn't be no high if it wasn't a low, right? And I thank God for saving me from how I used to be, like when I used to, like how we all go through those low seasons, right? I'm grateful, like my low seasons don't get as low as they used to get, right? They don't get as low as they used to get, and I'm able to go through the low seasons but come right back up to a high season, right? And whatever season you're in, whether it's the low season, high season, right? Thank God for it, because it's all working for the good. We can't see it now, but later on, we will definitely see it, right? So with that being said, it's your boy Crazy 50, God on the way out. Let's go.